Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Jason and I'm your watch guy today. I'd like to start this video off by posing a question. What type of money would you pay for a watch that has an automatic movement, sapphire crystal, 316L stainless steel, and is actually quite attractive and well built? 50, 60 pounds if it's on Aliexpress maybe? You know, we're hopeful. What if I told you that you can pick all of that up for £35? This is my first interaction with a brand called Berny. Now, I bought this from their official AliExpress store. They gave me a little bit of a discount, but I did pay my own money for it, so this isn't a paid promotion in any sort of way. I have left my affiliate link down in the description for this watch. If you're interested in it after this review, then please do use that. It does help the channel a great deal. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. I release 3 videos a week, all watch related content, and I'd like to think that they're not too bad. Without further ado, let's turn this camera around and let's review this watch. So guys, let me introduce this watch to you properly. This is the Berny AM038M, and it's an automatic watch. It's packed with a sea-gull automatic movement, as you can see in the back there. Very similar to the Miyota, in my opinion. I'll show you why later on. This is actually a hacking movement though. No screw down crown on this one, but hacking, hand winding movement. And it does come in as cheap as £35, which I think is an absolute bargain. I think this fills many a category. Perfect beta watch, perfect work watch, perfect first automatic watch. I think this could be so much to so many people. It's also got that very simplistic design, which a lot of people do enjoy. So let me talk to you about the dimensions. It is a 40.2mm case on this one. Thick, we are 11.7mm, which is actually very reasonable for an automatic watch in my opinion. 47.6mm lug tip to lug tip, and this band is actually 22mm wide. Not the most universal band, however, you can find plenty of fittings for 22mm. So this is a 316L stainless steel case, and it's completely brushed throughout, as you can see. I'm a fan of a brushed case, especially on this type of style of watch, because you can tell that it'll take a beating. Obviously, with a stainless steel polished case, we can see marks much quicker, whereas on these brushed cases, it is much easier to sustain. Now we have vertical brushing on the side of this casing, with circular brushing on the bezel itself. This is obviously a fixed bezel. As I say, this is a simple pull push crown. We have a coin edge finish to the outer edge of it, which is nice and easy to grip. And we have a polished edge to it, which is the only polished part of the outside of the watch. Obviously, first setting is the date function. Second setting is the handset. All conventional, and it is a hacking and hand winding movement. I really like the simple design of this watch. I think the lugs rarely overshoot the case and let the case just sit on its own, so they become sort of a feature in their own right, those lugs. They are very wide, maybe would have benefited from a shorter lug width, maybe 20mm. It might have looked a bit more discreet, I guess, but I don't think that lug is the worst thing in the world. It does slope towards wrist slightly. As we move to the back of the case, you can see there is a display case back on this one. This sea-gull movement has the Berny logo etched onto the rotor itself, which is nice to see. It's nice to see a decorated rotor. We have all the usual information around the outer edge of the casing here, with some Chinese symbols or Chinese writing around the bottom edge here. I'm not quite sure what that says. I'm sure someone could enlighten me. Model number over here, and the usual stuff that you'd expect. This is a screw down case back. Now, this is a sapphire crystal. It is a flat sapphire crystal. It's nice to see that we do get sapphire in this one. Obviously, at £35, that isn't a guarantee. There's plenty of watches on the market, including Aliexpress watches, that don't give you sapphire at this price. So it's very nice to see that they have given you sapphire in this one. Altogether, this case provides the watch with 50 meters of water resistance. Now that isn't the greatest deal of water resistance. That's pretty much a splash-proof water rating. However, it is a field style watch. It's a dress sort of watch, so I can let it off with that type of rating. Now as we move into the dial, you can see that it's a very simplistic design on this dial. Very simplistic watch, and I quite like that. Now you can pick this up in different colors. You can get it in a black dial and the white dial, as you can see here, as well as picking up with either Arabic numerals at the 12, 3 and 9, or just batons throughout. I really like Arabic numerals on a dial, so I opted with this one. I like the oversized nature of those numerals too. They're quite outstood and outspoken. Very bold design on this dial. We have really bold batons at the other hour indices also. We have a much thinner minute track around the outer edge, which is kind of floating on the outer edge of this dial. We have these squares at the 12, 3 and 9. Now they are actually slightly loomed. Not much loom, and I'll show you shortly, but they are loomed. We have a date window down here at the 6 o'clock. Now if you're going to have a date window on a watch, I do prefer it at the 6 o'clock. And it's quite nice that this one is sort of matched to the dial. That isn't a design feature of this one. That's just because this seagull movement comes with the white date wheel. Now the rest of the dial is very simplistic, as you can see. Automatic sapphire down at the 6 o'clock with the Berny logo up at 12 in bold black writing. We have baton hands, minute and hour hands on this one, as you can see. Very bold black handset with no loom at all on it. I quite like the handset. I think it accents the dial very nicely. It almost gives it a sort of Bauhaus type of feel to it. The lack of Arabic numerals on the other dial actually gives it a much more simplistic, minimalist type of look to the watch. The real feature of the dial is actually the second hand, a really nice splash of colour on that. It is a lollipop second hand with a little pencil tip on there, and that lollipop is actually loomed very slightly. Now let's talk about the loom. I will switch these lights off and we can have a look at it. As you can see, there's not much loom to talk about, and in person these loom dots are actually quite subtle and rather hard to spot. The second hand, much better than the dial. The dial fades really quickly. So really, not much loom to talk about, as you can see. Kind of just there for, I don't know, functionality, I guess. Yeah, not the best in the world. So as we move past that lack of loom shot, we move on to this leather band that the Berny is sat on. Now I'm going to say something quite unexpected about this leather band. For the price, it's outstanding. I mean, usually on these watches, I didn't expect it. I really didn't. Usually on these watches, you will find really super cheap leather bands. You pretty much buy the watch, throw the band out, buy a new band. And yeah, that's how it usually goes on the AliExpress market. However, this one, really nice. It fits the wrist really nicely and it feels quite secure. And we have a brushed buckle on this end here with the Berny logo etched into it. We have two keepers, not the flimsy type of keepers that you usually get. We have this lovely leather, aged leather type of effect to this band, and really good quality stitching too. In fact, the band is a feature of this watch, I think. I think that, yeah, they've done really well on fitting this one. I don't know how they've done it within that budget. It's actually quite insane the amount that they've done in this budget. But yeah, I'm quite impressed by that band. Let me pop it on wrist for you. There we go, it's on wrist and quite comfy. Like I wouldn't change this out. I'd keep it on this. I like the band itself. I like the effect of the leather on this one. And it fits nicely to wrist. It suits the watch, I think. Yeah, they've definitely gone on to a winner here. And I didn't expect that. I really expected one of my biggest moans to be the band, because it usually is on this type of budget watch. I'm quite impressed by this one, to be fair. Now, obviously, at £35, this watch isn't going to be perfect, but it's quite good. However, I do have some moans. So, first of all, the loom. It's very underwhelming. I'd either just not put it on there or I'd make it better. Now I know £35 is a very, very tight budget, so I'd probably go without the loom and fill these boxes in black to go with the rest of the dial. I think that'd be a much better look. One other thing I'd suggest is maybe up the budget slightly, maybe $50, 50-ish, and try and pack it with a fully loomed dial. I think that'd be absolutely fantastic. And before you say that I'm asking for too much, if Lotus can sell me a £20 watch with a fully loomed dial, Berny can certainly sell me a £40 watch, £50 watch with a loomed dial. I think that'd be a really good step for them. I think that'd be a great release. Now, next, the branding is a bit off for me. We do have the Berny logo on the 12 o'clock and on the buckle, which is nice to see. As well as the rotor, you think I'd be letting them off on this. However, the point that I'm getting to is this unsigned crown. It feels like a bit of an afterthought. It feels like they've just gone into the parts bin and thrown that in there. So, yeah. Again, though, it's a £35 watch. Now, thirdly is a moan about the movement. It is very much like the Miyota 8000 series. In fact, when I opened the box, I thought it was the Miyota 8000 series. I had to look at the advert to see what it was, and it was a sea-gull movement. However, they don't tell you which sea-gull movement. It does share a lot of commonalities with the Miyota, and I'll show you which one I'm talking about. Very noisy rotor. But yeah, budget watch, you'd expect that. However, the movement does have hacking and it does have hand winding, so I mean, £35. I think that's what I'm going to end on. It's £35. I think it's an absolute bloody bargain. I mean, it's an automatic watch. Let me talk to you about what I think this would be perfect for. This is your perfect in-work beta watch. This is your perfect first automatic watch. Or it'd be perfect for, say you have a teenager at home, you want to introduce them to the hobby, you want to introduce them to this collection. This would be the perfect introduction, their first automatic watch. It doesn't set you back a million miles in your budget, but it does what it should do. It's an automatic movement. It's got 21,600 beats per hour. It looks the part. It's fantastic for the price, guys. It really is. I don't see many reasons not to buy this for this budget. I think they've knocked this out of the park, to be honest. They've done a lot for the budget. Quite a lot. Now, over the duration of when I've been putting my reviews on YouTube and when I've been watching them, there's been certain legends in the Aliexpress budget market. I'm talking about the Star Kings of the world, the Star King dress watch, the Cadison dress watch. As well as that, there's quite a few Paganis in there, the GMT, the Submariner Homage. I think this Berny is sat amongst them. I really do. It's a quality watch. It doesn't have the loom. It doesn't have a decent upstanding movement. It's quite unknown, the sea-gull movements in the back of this one. But think of the L'Oreal. Think of what that did for the budget market. Think of the Pagani designs, what that did for the budget market. I think this is brilliant. I really do think that if you're looking for a beta watch, a beta work watch, something like that, or you just love the style of it, or you like the style of it, I'd encourage you to go pick it up. Now, my affiliate link is in the description. If you'd like to use that, I'd be really, really grateful. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We are about 200 off the 4,000 mark, and I'd love to hit that 4,000 mark. I want to get to 5,000 by the end of the year, and I think that'd be an accomplishment for me. So please do subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you in the next one.